Hey all, Hipper here. So I gave you a Tashkent with a heal video a few days ago, and I thought we should probably have a smoke video as well. So that's what this video here is, and this is my pretty standard Tashkent build here with Makarov and Rumble and a Sure Lane Baltimore. So I have a really agile Tashkent here that can fire nearly 13 kilometers. Actually 13.1 I think. So it gives you a lot of options in the ship here. And if someone decides to fire back at you, I believe I have a 1.2 second rudder and I can go 46 knots. So it is more than difficult to hit this thing here. So in this map here, I'm going straight for gold. I want to get this cap because that'll give us a great advantage here early on in the match. And I'm firing some torps to keep, well, the enemy DD out of my cap here. There's only one other DD in this game here, which is perfect for me. So the red team has been handed the better spawn on this map here. The spawn we have is the more limited one, the closed one, where it's really hard to get in to the cap and take up a good position. At least it's much harder than what the red team has, because if they don't do what this team is doing here, when they are like sitting at the back and not really making any moves at all, they're just wasting their advantage. And this team here, they totally waste the advantage. None of them are pushing at all, even the destroyer is running away. And that means that on this flank here, they have just thrown away the advantage that they have. Meaning that we should win the other flank, because we have the advantage there. But if you look over at a flank, it's pretty much the opposite thing over there. It looks like my team are the ones running away from their like advantageous position and pretty much leaving A to be kept by the Reds. There is one cruiser making a bit of an effort, but he is 1 versus 3, so yeah, it's not likely. So really my point here is, if you start on this map here at A or C, and you start in one of the open positions, like where this Jean-Bar is here on this map, and on A cap it's the opposite, of course. A lot rests on you, I'm sorry to say, because usually if a team loses one of these flanks here when they have the advantage, they usually lose the whole game, and that's just the way it is. In this case here, it's not so bad, because we have actually taken C, although we were supposed to take A and the Reds were supposed to take C. But whatever, it's opposite, but it still means that we have one flank each. So of course it's a lost cause over at A. There's no point even heading over there. So I'm going to set up shop out here in open water between C and B. Because with the range I have on my Tashkent here, more than 13 kilometers, I can cover both caps here. That way I can keep resetting the guys trying to take B here, and if need be, I can head in and dispose of any destroyers that try to cap either B or C. So this is a pretty good setup here. We are ahead on points, and we can cover both B and C, and pretty much all the blue ships here are gathered in about 1/4 of the map, which is probably not ideal. I would like us to be a little bit more spread out, but I mean, you play the cards you're dealt here. So right now it's looking good, but then suddenly everything just seems to fall apart. Like the battleships start running away. If you look at the ones in the middle, suddenly they decide to head west for some reason. There's nothing out there. I don't know what made them decide to do that. And this Jean-Bart here is making a move for the cap, but he gets taken out, which is a nice thing. But the cruiser is still denying to actually enter this cap and defend it. And we all know there's a destroyer over there somewhere, and it's really, puzzling. So once this JB here goes down, I'm just waiting for the battleship and the cruiser to start pushing into sea, but they never do. And had they started to push, I would just go over to that side and spot for them. But they're not doing anything. They're just starting to retreat, and they're pretty much just handing over the cap to the destroyer. So in the meantime, I keep resetting this Alabama here because I don't want us to lose B ever, because it's such a difficult thing to take B back once it's been capped on this map here, because like without smoke you are pretty exposed in there. So it would mean that I would have to be the one who had to take this cap here back. And I know, well, I'm thinking at this moment here that I will be needed over at sea as soon as these guys get around to pushing in there. Because they're just sitting there and not doing anything. And yeah, not constructive. But anyway, that's why I'm sitting here between the caps, and I'm not really sure what is going on. Because like I said before, now people just start to run away, which is interesting to say the least. So I'm just going to keep resetting this Alabama here. So now the pesky destroyer on the red team is starting to cap C, which I expected he would do at any point. And as you can see, the cruiser and the battleship are actually in the middle of leaving C, which is, like I said, puzzling. I mean, why not sail through sea and, I mean, scare the destroyer away a little bit instead of just hiding? Anyway. So the problem now are the two battleships heading west, as you can see on the map, because that serves no purpose. And although we are technically, like, even on ships, we are in effect down two battleships because they are, I don't know what they're doing. So although we are almost certainly down two battleships in a few minutes, I still think we can win this battle here if we win it on points. And that's why I am like fighting non-stop for the enemy not to cap B, because if they do that, well, all hope is lost pretty much then. And I just wish that the cruiser and the battleship over at sea would actually retake that cap. The cruiser is starting to do it now. It's an Orchakov, by the way. And we got a witherer there because, yeah, I've been sitting in this spot here pretty much the whole game and resetting and starting fires. So finally the Bama is out of hiding over here at B, and I can take out his last few inches of health there. And that means that no one has been able to take B in this game here, pretty much because I keep resetting them, and as you see soon I'll have 20 defense. So the Alabama is gone now, and I'm just going to help out with this Massa here, because if we could save a battleship, that would be excellent. And you can see there's a cruiser heading my way and a battleship here, so that's why I popped smoke before. Just, yeah, to give them somewhere to hide. I don't really need it, but the battle is getting towards the end and I had a smoke left, so might as well use it. So finally the Orchakov is trying to retake C, which will be perfect, because as soon as I get rid of this battleship here, I will head over towards B and see if I can take that. And that's the plan at this very moment here, but then the York comes out of nowhere into B, and again I can't cap, I have to keep resetting. And if you look over at C, then the Orchakov is about to be torped, which yes, that happened for odd reasons. I don't know exactly how that happened, but it means that we are down a cap now for sure. There's no one else over there. So I'm going to abandon B now and just hope that this cruiser here can keep resetting this York. And then we lost to Massachusetts, so we're down, yeah, well, suddenly down a lot of ships, like I figured we would be. So I'm going to go for C now and see if I can take it back. But as you can see, we are so far ahead, well, far behind on points now that it's going to be very difficult. So Tashkent here is my favorite ship in the game, and I am really hoping that when we get the next update, that the new tier 7 Russian destroyer Udaloi is going to be even better. It's not as fast as Tashkent, and the gun reload is also a lot slower. But on the other hand, it has a heal. Well, I'm kind of assuming it has a heal and a smoke. And it's very, very agile due to the very, very small turning radius on Udaloi. And as far as I can tell, you can get the rudder down to less than a second on Udaloi if you put a full rudder build on it. In reality, most players, myself included, will probably have 1.2 second rudder on it, because you can't really feel that last 0.3 second there. But it does mean that this will be one agile little mini cruiser, because I'm going to play it the same way I play Tashkent here. At least that's my theory, with like long gun range and just agile and fast. So pretty much like a tiny, very agile, very long range cruiser. And I'm hoping that Udaloi is going to be even more fun, although it has less of an HP pool, but then on the other hand it has a heal. So I think it will allow for a lot more interesting plays, and just in general a lot more fun. Because on Tashkent you can now choose between a smoke or a heal. But like I said, Udaloi will probably have both. So that allows you to make aggressive plays, and it allows you to keep the smoke in your back pocket for those situations where you would give your right hand to have a smoke. Another thing is that Udaloi has 3 launchers, 3 torpedo launchers, just like Tashkent, except Tashkent has 3 torpedoes in each, where Udaloi has 5. I mean, that's pretty nasty. That's 15 torpedoes. So I'm quite excited about that. And another thing about Udaloi that I'm very excited about is the anti-aircraft rating. I believe it's 44 stuck before any hull upgrades or commander skills or anything like that. And that's pretty good for a destroyer. So I think that can hit maybe not 100, but it can be really high if you spec everything into it. So I'm very excited to try that out, because that means that you will have like pretty much a smoking, healing anti-aircraft platform that can cap and hit battleships at almost 13 kilometers, or cruisers for that matter. And up close it's also quite a handful for other destroyers, because it's so agile. It'll be really difficult to hit. So I have very high hopes for Udaloi, and I can't wait for the next update, and the ship will be available. And I promise I'll take it out immediately, because I've already unlocked it. I'm just waiting for the ability to buy it, really. And then I'll put a few different builds on it, and I'll see what comes out on top, basically.
Engine boost deactivated.
So right here the game is having a heart attack or something. I have no idea what's going on, but suddenly I'm just getting a death strike out of pretty much nowhere, because yeah, as you can see, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what's going on there. So kind of a letdown ending to quite an interesting game, because had I had a little bit more time, I think I could have pulled it off. But obviously this bug here kept me from even having a shot at it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there, especially when Udaloi comes out.